What's up, y'all? Mall High Salute, what it do? Ooh, we just got off a long day of work. Put this on real quick. We gotta get fitted with the hat. Damn. Today was a pretty hard day, man. Grandpa passed away, but he's in a better place, man. Big No Joe, what's up, Rada? I seen a video with you on your YouTube, man. You should start up doing some shit for your channel, Rada. Um, oh yeah, I had to cut it off, man. Had to cut it off. Yeah, Grandpa John, man, we ain't gonna be in misery though. Grandpa John he was a cool dude, bro. That fool. I had seen him at his birthday. He had a little birthday just recently, and all the grandkids came together. Um, but he went out like a real OG, man. That dude was at the function, sick. You couldn't even tell, homie. And that fool was still smoking blunts and drinking beer, and he lived a long life though. But shout out to Grandpa John, man. You know, um, he in a better place though, man. My pops passed away when I was younger. His brother, Uncle Bobo, these are both his sons. He passed away, and Grandpa John passed away, man. So they're all, you know what I'm saying? They're all in heaven, man. Way better place though, you know. Um, damn, bro, I was a long day, man. I heard that news. I heard that news, man, and my uncles, they taking it pretty rough. My grandma, she's taking it pretty rough, but you know, Grandpa John went into his last days like a champion. He didn't want hospice. He didn't want to go to the hospital or nothing. That fool, he wanted to stay at the crib. You know what I'm saying, and die out in his own house. So, but went to work, and man, it was one of them days, bro. It was one of them days where I just was at a breaking point with the job, and I just had to keep my composure, homie, because it was a long day. And I wasn't even in the mood to be dealing with people. I didn't know he was talking about the sorry about your grandpa. Nah, it's all good, man. Good vibes though. We still gonna get good vibes. Mall high salute to all the riders in here, bro. Mall high salute to all the fam. Um, so on a different note, man. Football atmosphere and energies in the air. It doesn't matter what team you represent either. Everybody's reporting to training camp. Rookies training camp. I think everybody reported rookie training camp. Oh no, veterans and the rookies, but everybody's reporting to training camp. And high salute to you for being vulnerable, bro. It's hard for us to do that. Yeah, man. Um, you know, it really, like, to be honest, I'm gonna be 100%, man. That's why you gotta just love your family, man, because you never know, you know. Um, I just it's a wild thing, bro. Because like I said, when I had seen my gramps at his birthday party a couple weeks ago, bro, he was like still like super happy and stuff. But you know, like we all say, man, Angel flying to heaven, man. Definitely, he's up there with Pops and Uncle Bobo, and you know, it's a it's a crazy atmosphere. But they in better places, man. You know, y'all see your Gramps again. Jesus defeated that my dog. Yeah, you already know, man. You already know. Um, so I think I'm gonna have my homie Jay Millie pull up too. We gonna talk some sports, and we gonna talk some I'm gonna do a reaction video to um Sean Payton and what he said on the first day of reporting to training camp. So I usually, when this time of year hits, my birthday is in a couple weeks. I usually go to training camp, and I usually go to Broncos training camp the first day. That's like a ritual. But the way they're doing it this year, you had to get a ticket. You had to actually get a ticket to go to Broncos training camp. Um, and it was not just free to the public. You have to actually get a ticket to go. So me and my lady got our Vegas tickets ready for August. Hey, I might slide out there, but them tickets are expensive in Vegas. I mean, I for like I don't know how much you paid for, but the cheapest ticket I seen was like 450, 500 for Vegas tickets. I definitely that's on the bucket list to go out there, man. I was supposed to go last year, and I actually have some family that live out there, and I got a couple of homies that live out there that go to them games. Um, that was my big plan, to go out there and turn up for the weekend in Vegas. You know, I'm gonna try to see what's up and try to see what my money's looking like. Definitely try to see what the money's looking like, because I'm gonna try to go out to them games. Definitely, that's the atmosphere. You know, that would be kind of tight. Um, Shit, fuck it, man. If we could get a tight ass tailgate going. I don't know how Vegas is with the tailgate, but we get a tight ass tailgate going. That would be dope. Um, so that's what it is. So fans can go to training camp Friday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, majority of my family is Bronco fans, bro. My Cisneros family. Like I said, when I was growing up, you had to be a Bronco fan of my family. There was no other choice. You would get disowned by the family. My Garcia side, majority Bronco fans. I think I have a cousin that's a Packer fan. But your majority, everybody in the family is Bronco fans. You know what I'm saying? We all Broncos country, definitely years and generations. But they're all natives. You know what I'm saying? From back in the day, Mall High Stadium, season ticket holders type shit. Um, so it runs deep in the family. When I was growing up, you had to pull up to the functions too. My uncle Moonhead, that fool would have big ass functions, and you had to be at the function with the family. It was like a ritual. You couldn't skip out on it. You know what I'm saying? The family was there. So that's kind of how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Broncos football, like we didn't have an option. It was just all Broncos. Um, but so interesting things that were asked, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do a reaction video because my coach made me fucking happy today. My fucking coach made me happy. He basically put two middle fingers up to the media. He basically said, fuck the national media and what you think about the Broncos. Um, and it's about time. It's about time motherfuckers stop playing this humble shit. You motherfuckers ain't riding with us, media. Um, we don't give a fuck. Fuck you fools. That's just how it goes. And I'm gonna play a couple tapes where a couple they had him at the podium today talking about what he thinks and what the sound of the squad is. Um, much respect on the Broncos for Grandpa coming from Raiders, fam. You know what it is, fam. All high salute to that. Hey, I appreciate that. That's dope. I can see why you go so hard for the Bronx. Yeah, you know. Um, so before I get into this, one little story. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. Um, So this is probably one of the biggest aspects of why Savage Chev is so rooted to Broncos country. When I was growing up, I had a grandpa, right? He lived in the Sun Valley projects in the Sun Valley area. And Grandpa Albert, that fool used to have his house in the tailgaters would park in his property, and being around that when I was young, it just embedded in me. Like the tailgaters, I'm talking about real Broncos, alumni when it comes to fans. I'm talking about Orange Vader and Limo Driver and the Pom Poms and Leprechaun, Barrel Man. I'm talking about the real embedded Broncos country. I was a little kid. I remember the Arnalises and Nichols and all them, and they had these big ass Bronco fucking man caves, homie. And every time I would go over to the fucking house, the Broncos would always catch the W. And it embedded it, bro. But my grandma Mickey, she was a big ass Bronco fan. And I remember her whole life, her biggest dream was to see the Broncos win a Super Bowl because they had lost a gang of Super Bowls, 77, 87, 80, 86, 87, and 89. They lost a gang of Super Bowls, and she finally got fucking that wish came true, Super Bowl 32. And I was actually with her when it happened. And the amount of emotion that came from my grandma Mickey, and the amount of emotion that came from like my family, it just was such an embedding thing. Like there was nothing like it. To see them so happy and see them fucking just happy with joy, bro, and the city just lit up. And I'm talking about this is when I was growing up, and it was still the South Standard mentality, and everything was just Broncos. This whole city was just Bronco down, and everything was Broncos, you know. And that's just embedded over years and years and years. And my kids will be Bronco fans, and everybody generational in the family, you know. What you were there when they won. I was there all 3 Super Bowls, my Rada. I was there all 3 Super Bowls, and I'm gonna tell you one thing that always stuck with me, and this is a real aspect, is 96, man. Mark Brunell and the Jacksonville Jaguars come into Mile High Stadium, and they upset John Elway, and it was such a fucking emotional situation for me. I was a little ass kid, man. And I cried because that was supposed to be the year the Broncos got their first Super Bowl. And I cried, bro. One of the most impressional heartbreak that I ever experienced as a Bronco fan, 96. And then the next year, they fucking won their Super Bowl in a back-to-back. And I was like, damn. You know? So what up with it? What up with it, Ed? Mile High Salute was cracking with you, bro. I remember watching the Super Bowl too. Never seen my dad, uncle, and cousin so happy. Yeah, and that goes to all the fans. What up, Big Conrad? That goes to all the fans, bro. Like every fan. If you're a real fan, no matter what, stick through the hard times, the hardships, the craziness, the disrespect that you go through, because when it finally comes true and it finally comes in a physical form, there's nothing fucking like it to be on that side of winning a championship. All the hardships, all the fucking mental fuck that you go for the team, everything that you hold in emotionally. It's like the Nuggets, right? They went through so much, man, and they finally got that championship. And all the real Nuggets fans, because I'm not going to act like I'm a super Nuggets fanatic. I represent the home team, definitely, and I always want my home teams to win. But the real Nugget fans that's been through it through thick, that year that they won that fucking championship, bro, it meant so much to people, bro. What up with it? Rye was cracking with it, my Rada. But so now we are at a point. This is crazy, homie, and this year is already flying. What's up, Rada? What up, OG Bronc fanatic, Bronc nuts? What's up, my Rada? Hey, this is the OG homie that brought me into all this shit. Hey, it's good to see you, man. We talking some Broncos, and you know the logo. You know what it is, man. It's always good to see you. I am super excited, man. Check it out, though. We are in the swing of things of football, man. And I can honestly say So much so, and truthfully talking, this is the first season that I'm actually very stoked about. I can say this for the last 4 years, 5 years, I'm always trying to hold and keep on faith, right, with Broncos country. But this is the year that I actually just feel it in my gut. Things are headed in the right direction. No matter what the media says, no matter what these fuckboy haters say, no matter what the fuckboy media says, it's one of them feelings. And I had the same feeling when Peyton Manning came to the city. People were trying to tell me Peyton Manning was not going to win a Super Bowl. And I said, before Peyton Manning fucking retires, I told my wife and I told it stern, Peyton Manning will have a ring. And I was very, very confident in that shit. And then it happened the first year. And we all know the bruises and bumps it took for Peyton Manning to get that fucking ring. But when he got that shit, homie, it was like a pressure was fucking lifted off my fucking neck. Because up to that point, the Broncos always had this roller coaster of a season, and you had the Plummer season in the era and the Jay Cutler era, and you know what I'm saying, Tim Tebow era, and fucking it was there, and then it wasn't there, and it was there going to the fucking AFC Championship in 2005 and losing to the Steelers. My homie Steppa, Ben Roethlisberger taking it out on us in the the AFC Championship, and dealing with all that roller coaster, right? And when Peyton Manning came here, I fucking didn't even believe he was coming to the town. And to be honest, I'm going to be real with you. Like I always say, I was never a big-ass Peyton Manning fan. When I first heard it, I was on the Tebow train, to be honest. And I really was very, very energetic with Tebow. And they said Peyton Manning was coming to the town. And at first, I was like, nah, bro, I didn't know. But then I started seeing how Peyton Manning was talking about the squad and seeing how he carried himself. And I said, maybe this works. And Peyton Manning made me a believer. And Peyton Manning did his thing. And I know there was big situations with Peyton Manning because he had the Joe Flacco. And then he had that Super Bowl collapse against the Seahawks. And then he had the Colts. And then it finally came fucking true. 2015 Super Bowl 50 came true. And ever since that time, the Broncos been going through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. And I'm going to tell you like this, and I understand this completely. We're not used to this shit. See, now, Bronco fans, real Bronco fans, we're just not used to losing. We're not used to it, bro. We got spoiled with winning over our lifetimes. And if you've been around, you know what I'm talking about. This is not the fucking culture of Broncos country. Much love from Pueblo, man. Go Broncos, though. I was there at the Pittsburgh game. Shit was heartbreaking. Oh, terrible. Hey, but we lived it. And thanks to the Steelers, they've been a big part of our fucking Super Bowl runs. Big part of our Super Bowl runs. We went through the Steelers a couple times to win championships, Broncos country. And we play them week 2 against Russell Wilson. And they're already circling that shit on a motherfucking scale. Russell Wilson's already circling Broncos country, the home opener. And he's coming back here. We can't allow Russell Wilson to come get a W in the crib. No. So this is a new era, and what I'm gonna get to, and I'm gonna react to this video that Sean Payton came out today and has me fucking stoked, because this is the thing is, bro, Sean Payton don't give a fuck about what you talking about. He don't care about what the media's talking about. He don't care. He's saying we're listening, but we don't give a fuck. It's time to play ball. And his aura, damn, bro. Hello. Hello?
Hey, babe.
What up?
I'm pulling up. Can you come help?
Ooh. All right, I will. I'm on a live, but yeah, I'll pull up. All right.
All right. I'll do it again. Call you then.
All right. I'm
Thank
coming.
you.
All right, bye. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the chat. I'm gonna leave the chat going. If you guys stay, you stay. But I really, really want to get to this press conference and this interview that they did with Sean Payton. I gotta go get some groceries real quick. I'll be right back. And I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere, man. All my Bronco fans, man, even the Bronco haters, man, we need to chop it up real quick. It's football season almost, baby. Let's go. All right. All righty then. Well, come in. What's up with it, Rotters? We gonna drag Russell Wilson down the facts. That's what I'll talk about, Broncos. You give me hype, homie. We gotta do it. We gotta smash this dude. Um, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I really, really, really just got a disgust for Russell Wilson after he left because of just there was a couple things that came out in a report, and he just was not teachable. To be honest, that's how I feel at this point. But Russ is not here no more. He's the enemy now. For real though. I did though, man. Wifey went to go get some good food. Hey, what up, Bronco? Yeah, it's good to see my Bronco brethren and family in here, man. All high salute. So now let me break this down, bro. And I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys. And we're gonna get to this clip because this clip, it actually had me fucking stoked. Because I finally understand. I have a coach. I have a coach. I have a coach. You can't tell him that this is not going to work. My coach don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. My coach is a person that has right now, you know what they're trying to bash the homie. They're trying to bash the homie Sean Payton, and he's like, "Fuck you, fools! I don't care what you guys are talking about. Because if I cared about what you were talking about, I wouldn't have went to the NFC Championship right after my team being almost like below 500 the next year." He said, "If I listen to the fuck boys out there, the haters, the media, I wouldn't have been in that position. We don't give a fuck about what anybody's talking about. We got football to play. We have a foundation to build." And I love the sound of that shit because over the last 4 or 5 years with Broncos country, right? It's always been the pity, sorriness sound of people, bro. And even some of the fans, they become real shaky and become real bitter and don't know how to have that old South standards. I ain't fucking with it. I'm gonna say like this. It's a new era, new direction. You either with it or you ain't with it. And when it starts picking up, you know, you can't just fucking jump on. Like I always had this aspect of faith. Now, what's up with it, man? Shout out to the homie. You know, we don't discriminate against Raider, but you will hear Raider bashing. You will hear Raider hater because, you know, as Bronco fans, we ain't ever seen the Raiders do anything important in our lives. 83, that was before my time. And, you know, I don't expect the Raiders to ever, ever win anything important in my time frame. You can win all the regular season. You can be a successful regular season team, but when it comes to meaningful games, that's another topic. And it has been and will always be. And even though the Raiders have the talent, defense side of the ball, they don't have no fucking quarterback or a coach. And we know that you have to have a quarterback to win games in this fucking league. And ain't nobody scared of the quarterback play over there from the Raiders. They don't have no fear. They don't put fear in nobody. They have a defense, but that only takes you so far in this league. You got to put points up. And right now, the inexperience of the coach, that's not a coach. That's just a person that walked on the field and made something happen for a couple of games. We don't believe in that shit. We don't believe in that shit. That's unproven. And it's a new day and age. The real direction. But so let's talk about this, right? Sean Payton, he strips a lot of the bad juju. And he gets rid of some players that we needed to get rid of. Because the thing about it is, bro, you could have some talent, but what the fuck what is that doing for you the last 4 years? Absolutely nothing. And the thing about it is, bro, is you could have players that, you know, fan favorites, but what was the records with these fan favorites? You have to clean house and start all over. And that's what my coach has finally done. Even though fans called for this dude's neck, the media called for this fool's neck, he stripped a lot of the bad juju out of the compound. And he said, I'm taking control of this shit. And we're going to start heading in this direction that I need it. I need to go get the quarterback that I need, Bo fucking Nix. Ain't no reach when it comes to Bo Nix because he didn't trade up. It fell in his lap. And when you look at it, no matter what you say, Bo Nix is probably the most experienced quarterback ever to come out of a draft, intelligent, lives for football. Dude's accurate as fuck. He doesn't scramble and create sacks for himself. Very accurate over the middle. And he's just a baller. He's just a baller. And you put that in Sean Payton's way to let it all come together, you're not missing out on success. You have so many weapons. See, now this is the thing is because we've been ranked bottom feeders from a lot of media out there. And this is why this even came up, which they're going off a lot of last year and they don't really know. So now we can say yet to be seen. But when you start saying the worst 32nd in the 32nd in the NFL, worst roster, I have to actually put my 2 cents in. It's just it's ludicrous, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these motherfuckers don't even watch the Broncos in detail. They don't come to practices. They're just outsiders really trying to put puzzles together on this team. And the coach, Sean Payton, says we don't care about that. So let's watch some of this coverage, man, and let's see what we can take from this, man. It's gonna be a awesome aspect of Broncos country, bro. Let me see real quick. We got this one. All right. Hey, we back. We back.
Way for the long term. But as we get started, we'll keep you posted.
Your quarterback rotation coming in. We know you started number one. All three had reps with the first team offense. How are you going to do it here in camp?
Yeah, we'll mix it up again. Obviously, it won't stay that way for the long term. But as we get started, we'll keep you posted, and eventually we'll settle into the routine we want.
Sean, following up on that, then does it just go from 3 to 2 to 1, or I guess how do you envision sort of the?
We'll keep you posted.
One thing I love about Sean Payton, he's not gonna fool with these media people. We gonna keep you posted. One thing I love about Sean Payton, he's not gonna give too much to the media. He's gonna play this in an aspect that he loves. He ain't gonna fool with this media shit. All the fucking weirdo shit that goes on in the media, and even some of the call rap.
I'm not going to sit here and lay out here's how it goes, because I think the mistake made is deciding how it goes. Organically, this my experience will. Yeah, I think we'll see a rotation initially, and then we'll move on from there.
Chris Thomas in Denver Gazette. Sean, Bo Nix has had the last month to maybe hone up more on the playbook, that sort of stuff. Rookies reported obviously last week. What progress has Bo maybe made over the last month or so?
Look, he's a quick study, so the progress in the playbook will be.
That's such a relief to the ear, because when we drafted Paxton Lynch, he had the abilities and he was very athletic, but this fool was dumb as nails, bro. Couldn't pick up a playbook whatsoever. This dude, Drew Lock, loved his aspect as a quarterback at times, but I'll tell you like this, Drew Lock would get flustered in the pocket, couldn't read a playbook or a defense. Bo Nix, he specializes in the education of football, the mental aspect of football. He's known for that aspect. And when they gave him a test, this dude aced the test on football-related material. And you got a fool that just, they say that this dude watches more footage and more play than coaches. That's what we got in Bo Nix. He studies the game. Man, It's Bo time, bro. Bo country.
Just like it will be for Zach, right? They've both been here the same amount of time, I think.
One thing I'm going to say about this too is we don't need we don't need a competition out here with the quarterback aspect. That's why day one, I'm saying Bo Nix needs to start. Why sit behind Stidham when Bo Nix has 5 years of college experience, bro? This fool already has 5 years under him, bro. How many games has Stidham started in his NFL career, right? He don't need to take the backseat to Stidham. This is Bo Nix's team. Stidham, this is not Stidham's team. This is Bo Nix's team. Champagne got his guy, and it's time to motherfucking throw him in there and really, really see what we have in this dude Bo Nix, which is ready to get it, man. Yeah. Let's go.
Pretty hard.
Coach Zach Stevens, DNVR. Quinn Miners got the big deal last week. Why was it so important to make sure he was locked in for the long term?
Yeah, good question.
Quinn Miners,
there were so many things that we felt strong about. We're excited for him. His consistency and how he played at a position we value, and it made sense for, I think, the player and the club. And so. Now I missed his fashion statement, but I understand it was something else. But we're excited we had that done.
Coach, what agonizes you more, lack of execution or lack of understanding of what that execution is? Lack of understanding of
in general.
Yeah.
Like what?
Both in training camp and.
Just period. Just in football coaching.
Yeah.
Lack of execution or
understanding.
Well, I think the first thing we do when evaluating players is the player, does he know what to do? So I think it's frustrating when he doesn't know what to do.
And you know what? Sorry to say this is crazy, bro. Because when you go back to Russell Wilson, to be honest, homie, he could not run Sean Payton's offense. He did not know what to do, even though he's a vet, even though he's a Super Bowl champion. This dude would hold on the ball too long, couldn't see over the middle, did not know how to run a Sean Payton offense. And that's why you got the result with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, you know how many sacks in the 40s with sacks last year, and almost 37 of them were like Russell Wilson's fault, bro. He don't get the ball out quick.
Sean, Nick Cosmer of The Athletic. You expect Caden to be able to Caden Stearns to be back kind of in short order? Or
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Coach, when the rookies get here after this offseason program, just not just Bo, but the whole class, what do you want to see from them as they try to get ready for this first season?
I think they're all, in that acclimation process of trying to get up to speed. Both, we said this in the beginning, physically and mentally. They're behind. They go through the combine training, they go through all the preparation for the draft, and lost in that sometimes is the football preparation. So I know they've had a good off season. Man, our group in general, I think, has had a good off season. So it's good to see them back. It's good to get started with them, and but we're trying to shorten or speed up, if you will, the learning curve.
Troy Rink from the Denver Post. Coach, you've talked about liking the competition at multiple positions and the youth. When you're in a team where the roster is, do you have to live with more mistakes because you're younger at certain positions, or do you not allow that to be in part of the decision making?
Well, listen, there's mistakes that are going to happen. And so you live with those mistakes, but we don't live with them consistently. I mean, I think with a younger team, I think we have to be smart with our installation. I think we have to be smart with, how much we want to give them. Yeah. And so there's, I think, a balance there that you really work with relative to the experience, but also the scheme.
Sean, how do you balance getting a proper evaluation from not just 2, but 3 quarterbacks, but also finding the guy to beat Seattle on September 8th. And is that timeline fluid?
This is where I love Sean Payton, because the question this dude asks in the media, watch how Sean Payton flips it and just kind of he silenced aspects of the media. And this is the thing, is media always gonna say some shit that's out of pocket with things, bro. And especially if you're not in the Denver media, a lot of people don't even watch the Broncos in the up front line on the front lines, bro. So they have this fucking so diluted view about the Broncos. And, it's that I get tired of the media, to be honest.
Well, I don't think you balance finding the guy to win against Seattle. I don't think that makes sense, the sentence. I think we're looking to find the guy to beat Seattle, and we're going to find that player. How do I balance the day? How do I balance the schedule? How do I balance the reps? That's all part of what we do relative to teaching and in the teaching progression. I think the same thing exists, though. Look, the number one goal is to find the right 53 players here for our team. Certainly, there's a lot of focus on the quarterback position because there's open competition there. But I don't look at it as finding the balance. I look at it as finding the player.
Yeah, Coach, outside your building, expectations for this team are quite low. Odds makers have put your over and under at 5.5. You have long Super Bowl odds. What do you think about that? And does that, part of your daily speech to the players?
Look, if I spent time on that in 2006, we would have never gone to the NFC Championship game. And I mean that seriously. Back my first year as a head coach in New Orleans.
If I spend time thinking about that shit, what people think about this team, we would have never, ever, ever made it where we made it. If I spend time caring, I don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about. It's about what's going on in this aspect of the Broncos organization as we speak. If I cared about what you guys are talking about out there, we'd have never got to where we got the year that I went to the NFC Championship.
I don't have time to spend time on that, nor do I wish to spend time on it. I understand they have a job to do and where we're selected, and none of that means anything. It's stuff to talk about when the media cycle is quiet. We'll get ready to play, and we expect to compete. We expect to win.
We expect to
Sean,
win.
you've had just any update on Cortland Sutton? Have you had any talks with him or discussions?
No, I mean, and there won't be any. He'll be here.
He'll be here.
Like we talked about.
That's another thing that's
ready.
going on right now. Is he going to be here? He'll be here. He's going to be with the squad. Cortland Sutton. He'll be at the training camp.
Yeah.
Sean, Ryan McFadden from the Denver Post. You mentioned back in June that Aldrich estimate you expect him to be ready at the start of training camp.
He will be. He's doing good. Yeah, he's doing good. I think we had a couple players that are PUP, none that are, I think, surprises to any of you guys.
Hey, Sean, what difference do you expect out of Pat Surtain this year, given Justin and Josie's leadership departures?
Yeah, what difference do I expect out of him as a leader? I want him to be, himself. I think that he's always been a guy that leads on the field with his performance. Maybe not as vocal as others. So I'm not looking for a change in that regard, really. Now, that being said, more ball production. There are a number of other things that I think that he has as goals for himself. But I think from a leadership standpoint, I think that'll take place on its own.
Sean, Brandon Cristal from KOA. You obviously coached a long time, but last year was your first year here. So how much smoother with so much of your staff back and so many players back do you expect just kind of camp to go and nothing being new, I guess?
Yeah, I would say one thing, a better understanding of the personnel. You know, at this moment last year, we had this spring, if you will, of, you know, non-padded practices. So there was less information on certain players. If there were more information at that very moment, maybe there's certain decisions you would have made differently. But more information right now relative to the skill set of the current roster.
Andrew Mason, Denver Sports. You mentioned that Quinn plays a position you value, and historically your teams have put more investment into guards, cap-wise, draft pick-wise than a lot of
Guards
other
and
teams.
tackles.
Yes.
I mean, if you just looked and said in general, we value the offensive line, center included.
How much does that?
You know what's crazy, to be honest, is that for a long period of time, man, the offensive line, it didn't feel like it was being valued. I know that they beefed up a lot of the aspect of the offensive line, and this year the offensive line is probably coming in as the strongest unit of the team, right? But it's such a good aspect when, you know, you went from the trenches, bro. If you don't have an offensive line, you will get demolished in this league if your offensive line can't create protection. And I love hearing that. The offensive line is important because we know for a minute there, man, all these quarterbacks the Broncos country had, the offensive line just didn't seem to be one of the priorities of this team. And that's one thing I'm really stoked about also is that our offensive line has potential to be one of the stronger units in the NFL. And you have that around Bo Nix also. And Bo Nix gets the ball out fast, which he's always done. I just see a formula for success. I see a formula for some W's out there, man. That's a good sound to the ear. That's a good sound to the ear.
That help overall team building to get that part right, built from the inside out?
I think it's the most important position group on your roster. I think it permeates your building. And we value the offensive line, center included.
How much does that help overall team building to get that part right, built from the inside out?
I think it's the most important position.
Say it one more time, bro. Do you understand that? The offensive line, I don't know how many times every year I could stress this out. Your offensive line, you have to build the offensive line strong, and he fucking understands that shit. And it's all creating the aspect, man, for the Broncos to be successful. Because even with a good offensive line last year, Russell Wilson created his own fucking sacks. He would have time and run into fucking fools defenders, bro. Because he couldn't see the middle of the field. Put this all into perspective. You have a dude that gets the ball out fast, and he's great in the pocket. He's not just going to take off when he gets a little pressure on his head. Bo Nix gets the ball out fast. And you have an offensive line that can protect. And I'm not even going to go into the wide receiver group. He has weapons, bro. Yeah, you might not have heard of him to a point, but he has weapons, bro. Wide receiver is deep on this team. The wide receiver core is deep on the Broncos team. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Position group on your roster. I think it permeates your building. And I believe that, and it served us well everywhere I've been.
Vic Lombardi, Altitude Sports. Coach, do you have numbers in place? Have you had numbers in place for each position group? And do those numbers change through the course of a camp? Have they changed over recent years with changes in the rules?
Yeah, it's a good question. All right. If we had up behind us a screen and we said, here are the optimum numbers, not at the expense of a better player, right? We're not going to just stick to the numbers if we feel like we're one deeper at a certain position. And then that can change with the other teams. We try to talk all the time about, man, ignore the depth chart because you're not competing against just the 5 tight ends on this roster. You're competing against the other 31 teams. So often training camp ends, there's a final cut down, and everyone will be waiting to see who wins this position battle, and it'll be neither. It'll be someone from another team. But I think there is a base structure to, how a roster is set up that can change based on the scheme teams run defensively or offensively, but not at the expense of a good player.
Sean, obviously, this we see the extension with Quinn last week. I know Pat's under contract next year. Is there a want to get a deal done with him long term, like before the regular season starts?
We'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted. That's one of those answers that we'll get to it when we want to.
We'll get to it when we want.
Yeah, sure. We'd like to.
In terms of young players, obviously evaluating them, Cody Work at Mile High Sports, evaluating them during OTAs. In terms of being able to pick up the learning curve, as you mentioned, what is the biggest component you want to see from one practice to the other?
Well, I think are the mistakes being repeated? I think, are they trying to do what's being coached? How well are they doing it? And then, there's a series of things that we look at when we evaluate these guys. Certainly talent's one of it, but, how well are they doing it? And I think all of us, everyone in here who's covered this game has seen preseason games where they find a rookie and there's this kid named Jaleel McLaughlin, and we're in San Francisco and he has over 105 yards, and we're like, he grew that night. Like something took place that night. And so that's what we're looking for.
Wazirike, do you anticipate him being activated Wednesday? And, do you want him back if he is?
We want him back. We don't have the same control. We can't tell you we're going to anticipate it. We'll see with the powers that be in the back.
We didn't see Greg Dulcich throughout the OTAs.
I didn't either.
Are we going to see?
I think the plan is that he'll practice beginning this week.
Coach Cecil Lammy, Denver Sports. I'm going to piggyback on the Greg Dulcich thing. How far behind is he based on Lucas Kroll was maybe your best player this entire offseason
on that roster, man? It would be nice to get some tight end play and not have injury prone. When he's on that field, Greg Dulcich can be a weapon. He produce, when he's on that playing field, and that would be a nice aspect set up for a young Bo Nix.
And I hope you had a good summer, by the way.
I do too. But did you say Lucas was our best player or best tight end?
It's arguable. He was among the
it
best.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
No?
No, it wasn't.
All right. I'll answer your question, but
Yeah.
you're not close.
You're just saying stuff to say, bro.
Tell me who was that?
We expect the tight ends to be back. We expect Greg to practice. I don't expect anyone to be on his piggyback or anything like that. I expect Lucas Kroll to make progress like he has. We were encouraged with what he did. And I think that position is important. These guys present different skill sets. Some guys block better. Other guys are better receivers. Hopefully Greg can stay healthy, and we go from there.
Coach Woody Page, I didn't introduce.
But I would go with Meinertz. I would go with Surtain. I would go with these other players if you were wanting to know.
Woody Page, parts unknown.
Go ahead.
Last year,
You
you had
can
to
tell
utilize
my
a
boy don't
wristband,
like the
which
media, bro. Gosh. He's like, man, these media people, bro. But it's true, bro. The media will say anything to get the click. The media will say anything to get airtime and really don't even know what they're actually talking about. They're just talking to talk. And I'm so sick of the media. I'm so sick of the national media. It's been a disrespect, bro. Broncos country. The media is disrespecting the squad, bro. They're ranking us last in all of NFL teams. It's time to get it. That should be an aspect, bro, that makes motherfuckers go out there and really ball. You're getting ran through the media as a team. You're getting ran through the ringer from the media. And you know what? One thing I like about Sean Payton, he just don't care about the media. He don't care about what people are talking about. He's here to build a real foundation. And it's time to go, man. My high salute to Sean Payton. That's my coach right there, bro.
2 younger quarterbacks and one who's only
What up,
started
Millie?
2
You want to
games
come
here.
on, bro? We can put you on for a
Are
quick
you-
question. Let's go.
Want to not
Millie,
have to use
No,
a
I think the wristband's helpful. We've used wristband in the past with quarterbacks I've coached before in Breeze. I don't know that you want the whole offense, like the whole offense on the wristband. You might put a goal line section, a red zone section, a lot of times it's third down. But we'll see how they handle it.
All right. Let's take this off real quick. Boom. We'll take that down. The media's some busters, bro. The media's 100% busters. The media has been biased against Broncos country for a long time. The media, if you're a Bronco fan, don't go to the media to get your Bronco news. Go to real people that watch this team in detail and genuine love this squad, because the media will push down bullshit down your throat and try to really force feed you some bullshit about the Broncos, just like they do and everything else. The media is there to create controversy. And I'm ready to get this journey started with Broncos country this year, man. Are you getting excited? What you mean, am I getting excited? I've been excited, man. As soon as we drafted Bo Nix, your boy was excited, because this is the thing is, I see you have to have a leader in your quarterback to conduct traffic, homie. You have to have a leader that has the mentality to actually lead if you want to start pushing for a new narrative with the squad. And over the years since Peyton Manning, we haven't had a fucking leader under center. We haven't. We've had washed up quarterbacks that just don't have it in them to lead, bro. And you already can tell Bo Nix already has that leadership aspect about him that it creates making players around him better. Every great quarterback out there, bro, real great quarterbacks, make players around them better. And that's the effect you get from Bo Nix. That's why it's such a different scenario with Broncos country. I'm sorry to say this, homie. I'm sorry to say this. Sean Payton didn't want Russell Wilson. He was put in a predicament with the baggage of Russell Wilson, and he said, I'm going to still be behind you. But Russell Wilson, bro, it's reality. He's past his prime, homie. And a lot of it had to do with the Seahawk team that he played for, why he was so successful. You have water and oil trying to mix on a football team. Russell Wilson's ego, Sean Payton being a alpha, and them colliding on that field. Yes, they had some good times. When it boils down to it, that was never going to work. You know, if you know and you watch this Broncos team, the aura of Sean Payton is totally different than it was last year also. Because Sean Payton, he believes that he got the best scenario to run his style of play. He believes in Bo Nix, where people said that Bo Nix was a second round draft. They said that Sean Payton reached, but Sean Payton seen the quarterback that he wanted, and he said, I'm not going to let this escape me like I did with Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes technically would have been a New Orleans Saint. But Andy Reid did the okey doke and took Patrick Mahomes. And he learned from his mistake. He learned from his mistake. And he said, that's not never going to happen. I'm going to get the quarterback that I love in the draft. All the smoke and mirrors about McCartney and Drake Mays and all them fools, all the smoke and mirrors, it was all to put off that he was going after Bo Nix. And all the people that said Sean Payton reached for Bo Nix, now, if he would have traded up, it would have been a reach. But it fell perfectly in his lap. It fell perfectly in Sean Payton's lap. And I'm going to tell you like this, to Bronco fans, even the ones that were mad and in the narrative of other fan bases and all the haters in the media, if you don't get Bo Nix at 12 and you don't pick your quarterback that you want, the very next team that's drafting on that board is the Raiders. The Raiders would have got Bo Nix because they went into the draft and their main priority was to get a quarterback, which they leave it to the Raiders. They left with the most important position they needed, not filled. That's why the Raiders, it doesn't matter their defense. The Raiders will be another carousel. Their defense can create turnovers and they're going to be fast and this and that. But what happens when the ball's on the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders, bro? And they can't put up points. We've seen it in Broncos country. The defense would hold and the defense will create turnovers. And you know what happened? Our offense couldn't put up points. And you know what happens with a defense when that happens? It starts wearing and tearing in the game, wearing down. If your defense is creating turnovers and helping you go 3 and outs and stopping offenses, and then you don't get no balance from the offense, your defense start getting tired. You know what that creates? Friction with the defense and the offense in the locker room, because the defense is like, we're putting in all this work. We're putting in all this work. But what is the offense doing for us? And that's what I see with the Raiders, all this overhype. And they always telling us Bronco fans, we beat you. We beat you for the last couple years. Yeah, definitely you beat us. But in this league, we don't play for regular season, bro. You play for meaningful games in playoffs. You don't get a ring for beating the Broncos whatsoever. The only thing that matters is when football matters, and that's that playoff time, and that's winning Super Bowls. Everything else is thrown out the window. I don't care about regular season aspect whatsoever. If they told me this in 2015, if you sweep the Raiders and we take away your Super Bowl ring, would you go for it? Because if we can remind the audience, the Broncos actually get smashed by the Raiders that year. I think Khalil Mack actually had like 5 sacks in the game the year the Broncos went to the Super Bowl. Demolished us, right? I would take that loss to win a Super Bowl any given day, man. Because when it all boils down to it, it all boils down to, and I always say this shit. Bro. Only thing in the league that matters is a Super Bowl ring. Not even going to the playoffs really matters because nobody actually remembers that shit. And it was all that energy, all that hard work thrown out the window because you couldn't produce when it was time. The only people that have that mindset that playoffs is enough and they throw that in your face, we made it to the playoffs, is fans that are neglected with winning, because real winners and real people that have been a part of real Super Bowl runs, no. The only thing that matters is that ring at the end of the season. Everybody else that doesn't win the Super Bowl, we all are in the same predicament. We don't win a Super Bowl ring. It just took a couple more weeks for you guys to get evicted, you know? That's the reality. That's the truth. Sink in. All you no has been ass fan bases that don't have a ring. All you no has been ass fan bases that won years ago in the 90s and, you know what I'm saying, got dusty ass rings and one hit wonders from, you know, the 90s and the early 2000s. And everybody that has this identity in making the playoffs, which we know we all can mention a team that gets to the playoffs but chokes every year. But I promise you they'll argue that they're just the shit. In fact, the matter is you're not the shit because you can't. Hold on real quick. All right. You don't like it. That's the reality, bro. That's just the reality. That's the reality. That's just honest truth for you. If you don't win a ring at the end of the year, your season amounted to absolutely shit. Your season amounted to absolutely shit. I'm sorry to say it. To be honest, even if you go to the Super Bowl and you make the Super Bowl and you lose in the Super Bowl, you didn't conquer the goal and you went home ringless like the rest of the NFL did. That's on the couch, didn't make the playoffs. That's the truth. And we have fan bases out there. We have fan bases out there that haven't seen a ring or won a championship in their whole existence. And even teams that the last time they won a championship was in the 80s. And they never experienced that in their lifetime. And they still got this hope and hope and hope and hope. But you forget to mention, go back and study what your franchise is. And you let me know. You let me know if you really think you have a shot. Because I'm telling you like this, a lot of these fan bases, they really don't believe they have a shot. So the next best bet for them is to domino effect to playoff appearances and say, hey, that was a great accomplishment. Now, the fact of the matter is, in the AFC at this moment, if you're not Kansas City and you don't have a squad like a quarterback like a Burrow, most likely right now, you don't have a shot. Chargers, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Ravens. I'm sorry, all these teams that are getting excited. Look at the Tennessee Titans, man. They had a team with King Henry, and their whole thing just went out the window. They don't have King Henry. That era's evaporated. Did all that to be on top of the AFC, and it evaporated in their face, and now it's going out the window, and it's becoming something in the past. And that's just the reality, bro. I'm sorry to damper people's hopes and burst people's bubbles. That's just what it boils down to. But mile high salute to everybody. We have training camp. We have preseason football in about 2-3 weeks. Can you guys believe that shit? 2 to 3 weeks. We have training. We have preseason football about to start, man. We are in the motion of football season. We gonna see. We gonna see, man. Mile high salute to all the Bronco fans out there. Bo's country, Broncos country, man. Hey, the new era has begun, and we're all gonna be able to watch this all on the fold, man. To all the doubters out there, bro, get ready. You can't stop it. Mile high salute, y'all. Hey, you guys have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. I'm about to go eat some dinner, but you know what it is. You know the logo. Hey, I'm gonna get at y'all.